combining like terms. So exactly what does a like term mean? Well, in this case, like terms mean either constants, which are just numbers with no variables, or variables that are the same variable that have the same exponent or the same degree. So I can't put a y with an x, I can't add those two things together, and I can't add an x to the fifth plus an x squared because they're of different degrees. So I have to have the same variable to the same degree. So let's look at the first one. So my first term is an a to the fifth. So let's find all of the a's to the degree of 5. So I have 1, there's another one, but that's a, but it's to a degree of 3, so I don't count that one, and then I have that one. Please notice that I've included the sign in front of, or the operation in front of each term, because those have to go along with those terms. So I have 8a to the fifth minus 11a to the fifth, and that's going to be negative 3a to the fifth plus 15a to the fifth, and negative 3 plus 15 is going to end up being 13a to the fifth. Now let's look and see what other terms we have up there. So I have an a to the third, and then I go over here and I have this a to the third, but that's negative 13a to the third. So 3 times a to the third minus 13 times a to the third is going to give me negative 10a to the third. And that's going to be my answer, because I can't combine that a to the fifth and that a to the third. Now the next section says to perform the indicated operation, and I put these two together because they really do kind of go together, because I'm going to have to perform the operation, then I'm going to have to combine like terms. So in this first one, I have this group of terms plus this group of terms. Because this is a plus here, I can just ignore those parentheses and start combining my like terms. So I have an n to the sixth, n to the third, n to the third, n to the sixth, and n. So I have 7n to the sixth plus 7n to the sixth would be 14n to the sixth. Then I have an n. So I have a plus 5n, n to the third, negative 5n to the third, 5n plus. So I have plus 5n plus 5n, and that's going to be plus 10n. Then I have an n to the third. So I have plus 2n to the third minus 5n to the third, and I've used all of my terms. So 2 minus 5 is going to be negative 3n to the third. But I don't like those numbers in that order. And the reason I don't is because I go from the degree of 6 to a degree of 1 and back up to a degree of 3. I want my degrees to be in ascending order, or excuse me, in descending order, which means that I start with the highest degree first and work my way down until I get to no degree. My highest degree is 6, so that's the term I'm going to put first. I have a 1 and I have a 3. My next highest degree would be 3, but remember to keep that sign with it. And then I'm left with a term of 10n. And that would be combining those like terms and performing the given operation and putting that thing in descending order. Now what do we do with this thing? Well, because this was a plus, I could ignore it. But this is a minus, which means I have to do something with this. So if I carry this negative all the way through there, that means that this negative becomes a positive, and this positive becomes a negative because I'm multiplying through by negative 1. So this thing then becomes, this one will become 5a to the third minus 4a squared. Now I can combine my like terms. So I have negative 7a to the third plus 5a to the third gives me negative 2a to the third. And then I have 13a squared minus 4a squared, and I believe that's going to give me plus 9a squared. And that's my answer because I can't combine those two.